Hi guys, it's Sterling Spectre here. In today's video I'm going to be talking about how Fluxcoin is going to make GPU mining profitable again. Before we start, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new here so YouTube can recommend this video to more people. Lastly, if you want to buy any Fluxcoin, then make sure to use MEXC Exchange. If you sign up with my link, you can get access to over 1,000 trading pairs and 10% discount on trading. First link in the description for that. So we all know the mining market is very unprofitable right now with all the coins being in the negative as far as profit goes. However, Fluxcoin is looking to remedy this through their new proof of useful work system. This is a concept where GPU miners can secure a blockchain by solving real-world problems instead of random ones. For example, the work needed could be training AI learning machines, animation and visual effects rendering, or protein folding software in academia. The proof of useful work concept allows for no energy to be wasted as is put towards things that need computing power. The concept of useful work has been explored a lot in theory, but we have yet to see it successfully implemented into a real blockchain. So the aim of Flux is to be the first to make useful work happen. Now the main reason this needs to be implemented is because many environmentalists have been hammering down on the energy consumption of crypto mining. So if they implement this new useful work, then other cryptocurrencies will follow suit and solve the negativity that is surrounding the mining space. Fluxcoin has always been pushing the boundaries on innovations, as in the past they have introduced a new parallel asset system, and their node system that works in synergy with the miners is very innovative. As I said, the main reason for useful work is to curb the criticism of wasting energy, but there are also added benefits to the network if introduced. It will massively improve the network capabilities. By pointing the hash rate towards real-world problems, it will encourage more adoption of the coin by institutions that need this large computing power. Flux currently has over 12,000 miners on the network, which is a lot of power and resources waiting to be tapped into. Flux have been working on this for some time, but they finally started to roll out new information for the concept. This comes in the form of this infographic. So on the right hand side it starts with use cases, which we covered earlier, but the three main uses are going to be artificial intelligence, video effects rendering, and cloud gaming services. All these systems require large computing power and therefore could be incentivized to use the Flux network. Now below that we have the hardware section, which correlates to the left side of the screen, but we'll talk about that later. So the concept works like this. You connect either your gaming PC, mining rig, or GPU cluster to the Flux network. Then you start mining Fluxcoin. While that's happening, Flux will be benchmarking your hardware and giving it a score out of 10 based on each of the three traffic light use cases. So rendering is in red, yellow is for artificial intelligence, and green is for cloud gaming. Then it will put you into a proof of useful work pool. From here you'll be waiting around until Flux network gets a job. For example, let's say an AI company wants to do some deep learning. They'll request this job, and based on your hardware rating for AI learning, you could be selected. Let's say you have a rating of 10, it will select all the GPUs that have the highest rating and work downwards until they have enough computing power selected. Then you leave your machine on until the job's finished, and then you get paid a percentage of the work done on the task. It works in a similar fashion to pool mining. So how is this going to help miners become profitable again? Well, as mentioned, right now you can get paid by companies to carry out real-world tasks, and you'll get a percentage. Right now nobody really knows how much these tasks will be worth, as it has never been done before. However, it should be a little higher than mining just because they want to perform specific tasks. So the best way to use useful work would be to mine Flux and then complete jobs on the side. For example, you could be mining Flux for 10 hours and a new job comes onto the network. Then you switch to the proof of useful work pool and complete that and then go back to mining. I also couldn't find any information on the payout for parallel assets when looking at proof of useful work, but I assume that the companies will be paying that extra amount in the native Flux, or they could pay it out in parallel assets, I'm not sure. So you'll just be receiving 2 times the amount of native Flux that you could mine. There are also 3 parallel assets that need to be released, so I think that they're going to wait for all of them to go through, and then they'll start to put all their efforts into proof of useful work. If we take a look at this graphic, we can see how they can combine the mining and useful work together to produce half as much energy waste. Usually a company would use their own GPU, but this eliminates them from having to use that, which means less power consumed, and it keeps the Flux network secure. If you want to read more about Flux's push for carbon neutrality, then head over to flux/carbon where you can find more information on that. Lastly, when we take a look at Flux nodes, we can also see that they are keeping the network secure if proof of useful work doesn't pan out the way it should. When we look at all the figures, we can see that over half of the circulating supply of Flux is locked into nodes. I definitely think that node staking is a great incentive to get more Flux coins. If you have over 50 Flux, you can start to stake into the network. Also, the chart shows a steady increase in the amount of nodes. I believe that there are just over 15,000 nodes running right now. Overall, I think Proof of Useful Work will be revolutionary if it gets implemented into the Flux ecosystem. Now, if you have any questions about Proof of Useful Work, then leave them in the comments below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more mining content.